We're going to try it out. Okay. All right. Well, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Let me get up my notes because I did take some notes to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Hopefully, everybody is doing well. So, last year, well, yes, in general, last year was a year that I really focused on money beliefs because I feel like this is an area where many people in the world struggle. Money, oftentimes, just the topic of money brings up a lot of stress, anxiety, fear, all of the negative emotions, and especially during the time of a pandemic where people are maybe not able to work as many hours as they used to be, maybe they've been laid off, there's fear of that coming around again. And we get in this money mindset where there's not enough, there's not going to be enough, everything's going to fall apart. And it's really important to hone in and understand the way that money works. Because if not, you are really doing yourself a disservice. So, I'm going to teach you all today why it's so important to be very adamant about the way that you think about money, the way that you treat money. And again, the number one thing that helped change everything for me last year, I was kind of at a point where I was honestly sick and tired of being sick and tired around the stress of money. It just felt like I could never get ahead. It didn't matter how many hours I worked, it didn't matter. Like, it was just like something would come in and constantly interrupt money that I had saved. I even used to have this story that I couldn't save money. It used to be like this horrible thing where I'd be like, I can't even save money. I can't even get ahead long enough to save money. And as soon as I get a chunk of money, it's immediately gone. And the crazy thing about money is that it is, and this is something that you might want to write down, money is an energetic frequency. So I'm going to rewind it a bit because I know not everybody in here has worked with me. Not everybody may have like a lot of the foundational pieces. So, what's important to know about yourself is that you are an energetic being. That is not something woo woo, that is science. You are made up of energy, of tiny little atoms and molecules and all of the things. Everything in the world is an energetic frequency. It's made up of energy. That is reality. So, everything in the world is made up of energy. Money is an energy as well. And a lot of times we forget this. We forget that money is just an energetic response to what we're thinking and what we're feeling. And the reason being is that we have sometimes some tangible physical things that we can hold. But what I want you to think about that is that even when you are holding on to money, it's literally just a piece of paper. It's just a piece of paper that someone decided what numbers and things that they were going to put on that piece of paper. And all of us abide and know what that means, right? If you go to another country and you're using a different currency, it doesn't matter. It's a piece of paper or it's a coin, and we see a number on it and we all abide by that. That's like the physical, tangible thing of money. But if you think about like bank accounts and whatnot, that is nothing physical. Literally, there's nothing physical about what numbers you see on a screen when you're looking at your bank account online, or you're doing any kind of online banking, or even when the bank is like looking up your account. It's just numbers on a screen. And when you need an amount, they, type it in or whatever and do the exchange and give you physical evidence for it. But if you think about it, if every single person in the world needed all of their money right now from the bank wouldn't even have enough paper money to supply the entire world. What we're looking at is literally a digital number, and we just trust that it's there. We trust that it's there and that the bank is going to have it. But again, if every single person in the world needed physical money, there wouldn't be enough. There wouldn't be enough physical, tangible stuff. So all the time we're trusting what's on a screen, and that is even an energy. So very, very, very important to remember that. So you are energy, money is energy. And the thing about that is that money is always, hi Catherine, hi everybody popping on. Money is always responding to you, to your thoughts and your beliefs. Always. So again, if you have pen and paper, write this down. Money is always responding to you, being that it is an energetic frequency. Now, here is where people get themselves into trouble. They start having stress and fear and lack around money. Now, if you're thinking about us being all energetic beings, okay? And here's how I like to break this down. I'm a very hands-on learner, and I'm usually a very visual learner. So a lot of times when I'm even coaching my clients, I'm in our office and I'm drawing on the whiteboard because I like them to be able to see my ugly drawings so that they can like picture how this is working. But I usually do that on my phone, and webinars are not compatible on my phone. At least this platform, it wasn't compatible. So I'm going to do the best that I can and even trying to explain it. So just if you get lost at any point or have questions, just make sure that you put it in the chat box below so that I can help you through some of this. Okay, so if you think about it, with us being energy, the way that I think about it is we all have like an energetic vibration, right? Kind of like when you're looking at a heart monitor and you see the, heartbeat, the pulse, whatever you call it. Um, so think of yourself that way. And we have an energetic vibration, and everything in the world has a specific frequency and way that it operates. Well, money is a very high frequency and vibration. And in order to reach that very high frequency and vibration where money is this limitless option, you have to be in a very high vibration to match it. The issue is that a lot of times we are not in the energetic vibration of money, and I will tell you why. The ultimate feeling that you need to have in your body to attract any amount of money possible, aside from it doesn't matter your job, it doesn't matter your career, it doesn't matter what someone said they were going to pay you in a corporate job, it does not matter. For you to attract the money that a lot of times that we want, we have to be in a state of gratitude, even if we don't already have all the money to make us feel like we're grateful. You have to be in an energetic vibration of gratitude. Gratitude is the highest vibrational frequency that you can be in. And when you're in like gratitude, I want you to think of your energetic vibration as being like, woof, woof, woof. And money is also like, woof, woof, woof. And if you can't, my sound effects, and if you don't match that energetic vibration, it is very hard to keep or attract the money that a lot of us wish that we had. Okay. Now, when we're in fear around money, when we're stressing around money, when we think that there's not enough money, all of the negative emotions that come with money that a lot of us have, our energetic frequency is like do, 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 do. And money never comes down to meet us at that low vibration when we're like do, 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 not enough. I've got so many bills. I'm so afraid. What about this pandemic? Everybody's going to lose their job. Everybody's going to lose everything. It's all going to suck, right? Like when we're in that vibration, money doesn't come down and say, cool, they're struggling with money. Let me give them more. That's not how money works. So if that's how you've been operating and you've been very frustrated that you're not attracting more, that's why you're not attracting more. You cannot attract more from that place of fear and lack and I don't have enough, and oh my God, the pandemic's going to ruin everything, and I'm never going to be able to pay my bills, and oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Money is like, whoa, no, that does not match my humongous vibration of gratitude. And when you're in fear and lack, it's very hard to also be in gratitude. They don't go together. They're on total opposite ends of the spectrum. So usually like when I draw this on the board for my clients, I've got gratitude up here with this huge vibration and it matches money. And then I've got this little tiny, you barely have a pulse at the bottom. Okay. And then that's like fear. And so when you even say things like, I need more money, what you're communicating energetically to the universe, I need means I don't have. So write that down. I need means I don't have. I don't have means lack. And again, lack is that tiny, itty bitty, tiny little pulse where you're barely pulsing around. So money is not going to come meet you at that vibration. So that's one of the first things that we do that we're really we really get ourselves off of the track of being a vibrational match for money. Very, very, very important. Okay. So, another thing that will keep us out of the vibration of money is if we have energetic leaks with money. Now, when I say energetic leaks, I mean maybe you're paying for things that you forgot that you're paying for. And when you see it come out, you're like, oh, I don't even use that subscription. I don't even use that. I haven't been to the gym in 2 years. Shoot, it keeps coming out. I need to go cancel that, but it's okay, whatever. When it does not feel good to you and you are energetically spending things where you are like, I need to cancel that. I need to cancel that. I need to cancel that. Right? And it becomes like this dreadful thing. Again, you're lowering your energetic vibration. And so those energetic money leaks, again, will keep you out of that high vibration of receiving more. So I'm going to give you a very crazy example that I am currently experiencing right now. Okay, this is crazy town. So when I learned about last year, I'm not kidding. I spent like eight grand to learn all things money because and I didn't want like the Dave Ramsey version. I think that that's great. And if you do Dave Ramsey, I'm not opposed to that and I don't disagree with it. But I wanted I wanted people that have like created insane, makes no sense type of money to teach me money. Like people that have like done weird, bizarre things. And so I was like, I have there's something I'm missing. Like clearly there's something that I'm missing, right? And even thinking there's something I'm missing, of course my brain was always looking for what was missing. So that was not so helpful. But I spent a lot of money last year to learn a lot of things. And when I learned about energetic money leaks, I decided to download an app. And my app, there's a bunch of apps out there, but the app that I downloaded is called Clarity Money. And you attach it to your bank account and it starts tracking everything that you spend it on, right? It's kind of disgusting. Like it shows me how much I go to Chick-fil-A and it shows me a monthly statement of how much I spend at Chick-fil-A, which is disgusting because I pay their light bill. Like prior to going back into the gym and stuff, I was like, oh, they're staying open because of me. But before that, you're not thinking about it. You're just like, you swipe, 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 swipe again. Like money is this energetic thing. And especially like if you don't have the cash and you're not holding it and counting like how much you're spending, a lot of times the debit card just makes it easy to be like swipe, 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 swipe. And so I downloaded Clarity Money and it started showing me everything that I was spending my money on. And it showed me that I had like a Netflix subscription, which we already have one. So why was I spending that? And I'm like, that energetically does not feel good to me. So therefore, I need to cancel that. I had another subscription coming out for Disney Plus. And while I do love Disney Plus, I was like, I'm watching this maybe like twice a month. That doesn't energetically feel good to me. I'm going to get rid of that. So I canceled that. And then Clarity Money showed me that I was getting charged 2 times a month from my gym, not 1 time a month, 2 times a month. And that felt really bad. Let me tell you that when I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, how did that happen? Tracked it back. That had been happening for 5 freaking years. And I was like, oh no, oh no, 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 no. This is a bad energetic money leak. This is a really bad energetic money leak. So I called. So here's the sticky situation, right? Like I had started off with a home gym in my hometown. I moved to a different hometown. And then I joined the gym there. And so I thought that they had just transferred my stuff over, like that's where my thought was like, oh, it's the same gym company. They just transferred me over. No big deal. And then I realized that I was getting these two charges and I was pretty infuriated, but I was calm. I was very calm because I've learned a lot and I'm like, there's no need to get all in a fuzzy. So I'm just gonna be calm. And I called my original home gym and I was like, yeah, so I just realized I'm getting charged twice a month. And they told me, yeah, well, we're separate entities. So even though you joined the same gym, they're a different franchise. So we've been charging you and then they've been charging you. And I'm like, oh, okay, my responsibility. I should have downloaded Clarity Money sooner than I am now. And here's the thing that I want to make clear because some people might be thinking, why didn't you ever pay attention to that before? I'm going to tell you that before last year, especially, I did not want to look at my money. I didn't want to look at it. This is another thing with energetic money links and not being aligned with your money and your money beliefs. If you get a bill and your initial reaction is to like toss it away and be like, I don't even want to open that because it's going to be bad news. Or, you're looking at your statements and you're like, I don't even want to know how much I've spent this month because it's just going to make me like, it's going to make me freak out. And so my response with stress with money was, if I don't look at it, it doesn't exist, which actually it does. It doesn't go away, right? So I had been paying for 2 gym memberships for 5 years. So I had him cancel that home gym, and I took full responsibility for it. Obviously, I'm like, I should have been more responsible and had been checking. And if I would have, not feared money as much, I would have been checking that. I could have caught it a lot sooner. So we canceled it. Well, then I go to my gym in my current town, and they're like, "Did you cancel your membership here?" And I'm like, "Mm-mm." And they're like, "Well, it's showing that you canceled and you don't have a membership with us anymore." And I'm like, "No, I canceled my home gym back in Louisville." And they were like, "This is very odd. We need to look into this." To give you the long story short, Ohio has been charging my card for 5 years. Okay, I lived in Ohio for 3 months. I called when I moved to Ohio to inquire about the gym. Never transferred all the documents because they told me this long, lengthy process that I didn't want to deal with. And I was like, by the time you all do that, it's going to take, like, by the time you all transfer my gym membership over here and I fill out paperwork and sign it and send it in, I'm going to be moving back to my hometown. So it makes no sense to transfer it here. What I didn't know is that without my permission, they transferred my membership there. And what normally happens in the system is it cancels my hometown gym because I'm a transfer. It never did that. It never canceled my hometown gym. So they've been charging me twice. But again, after everything that I've learned about money, I have been able to change my thoughts around it. And I'm like, it's okay because I'm supported. Like I'm fully supported. So right now we're in the process of them getting that money back. And you guys, it's $2,000. $2,000 that they've charged me over 5 years. I'm like, ugh, that's a big energetic money leak. So also not looking at your money because you're afraid of what you're going to see, or you don't want to, like, you're fearful of like how much you're spending because you're like, whatever the thought is, that is also lowering your vibration with money. So don't do that. Don't be like me. And if anything, download an app that's going to help you point out like where energetic money leaks are. Because honestly, as soon as you clear them out, like even when I canceled my home gym, which at the time I didn't know was my home gym, I thought I had canceled the problem. But as soon as I did that, my whole entire energy shifted, and I was so grateful that that was not an amount that was going to be coming out again. Excuse me. And that increased my gratitude, and then more money came my way. And it's like I've been operating in gratitude, getting rid of those little money leaks, and now I have $2,000 on its way, right? They could have been like, SOL, you should have paid attention, whatever, but when you are in an energetic vibration of gratitude, especially with money, you will be supported in ways that you just don't even know possible. So let me make sure I'm not going too far off track. Let's see. Yes, the amount of money that you have in your bank account or that you don't is directly correlated with your thoughts. So if you're always having negative thoughts around money, of I don't have enough, we never get to do anything fun, we never get to go on vacation, I just work, 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 and people always pay me minimum wage. And if those are always the thoughts that you're having, you're staying at that, again, very low, barely even a pulse vibration. So you're not going to get what you're wanting in that vibration. Let's see. Okay, so let me tell you something that completely changed everything for me last year. Like, really, this is the thing. Okay, so make sure you have your pen and paper ready or your ears are peeled. Okay, so I'm going to be honest, and I laugh at myself when I say this, but I'm also kind of embarrassed with myself. Thank you, Laura. She said, I love your gym story. Thank you. It's a hot mess express, but we're working on it, so it's okay. Okay, so last year in one of the programs where I was learning money, she shared this story about, how we like the sneaky ways in which we don't remember to be grateful for money. So one of the examples was, what do you do? And I'm asking all of you. So I would love if you would take a moment in the chat box to let me know what you do to see if I'm the only one or not. But I want to know, when you are walking into a Walmart or a Meijer or a Target or a TJ Maxx, and you're in the parking lot and you see a penny on the ground, what truthfully is your initial reaction? Tell me in the chat box. There's a chat box for Zoom. So tell me in the chat box, if you were to see a penny on the ground on your way into a store, maybe you're even walking around Walmart and you see it tucked in the corner underneath like a little shelf. What do you do with it? I'm just curious. There is no wrong answer, by the way. I'm just curious as to what everybody does, because I laugh at myself in these instances. I want to know what you do. So Catherine says, find a penny, pick it up all day long. You'll have good luck. Okay, perfect. That's a good one. Christina says, it's my lucky day. She picks it up. Hope says, it's dirty. Don't touch it. I understand that too. Andrea says, it's just a penny. Oh, whoops. All of the results are coming in. Hold on, let me scroll up. It's just a penny. Leave it. Okay. Laura says, normally I'm insanely grateful to find coin money and I celebrate, but since COVID, there is no way I'm touching that floor money. Danny says, it depends on my mood. 50% of the time I pick it up, and 50% of the time I'm bougie and I leave it. Oh my God, I love that answer so much. Rebecca says, pass most of the time. Sometimes I will. Okay. So I'll tell you, for me, growing up, my grandma, every time like she saw a penny, a dime, a nickel, quarter, whatever, she didn't matter where it was, didn't matter how dirty or disgusting it was, she would pick it up and she'd go, oh my God, a penny. I'm so excited. Thank you, Jesus. And she would just be like over the top with it. Me as a kid, even watching her, I was just like, oh, that's disgusting. Just leave it. It's just a penny. Like, why are you so excited over that? And so even in my adult life, I would just be like, I'd see a penny on the ground and I'd be like, meh, just a penny. If it was a quarter, I might be picking it up. But if it was a penny, it was like, just a penny. It takes 100 of those just to get $1. Like, it's dirty. I don't want to pick that up. That's disgusting. And so I would leave it on the ground. Holy cannoli, did I not know how that was biting me in the rear. So I'm going to tell you guys about this. So, and also, I tell on myself, this is embarrassing, but if I was vacuuming out my car and I had like 2 or 3 pennies in the floorboard, or they're just like laying around in my car's a mess, and I'm like vacuuming up crumbs, and I'd see the pennies, I would vacuum up the pennies, and I'm not even kidding. And I wouldn't save them. I would just be like, ew, gross pennies. You know what I mean? And again, it takes 100 of those to make even $1. So why would I keep those? I'd be like, and if they sucked up in the vacuum, I would just be like, oh well, you know. So I didn't really think much of it. And then I took this program last year, and she was like, how do you think that money, considering that it's an energy, responds to people who don't even have gratitude over a penny? And I was kind of like, huh? And she was like, money is always responding to your energy. So when you do something like even pass up a penny, you see it on the ground, it's an energetic currency, it's money, right? It supports you, even though a penny, we think it's not enough or whatever. This is where we go wrong, because money, again, comes from, like, an abundance of money comes from your amount of gratitude. And the thing about money is, money wants to know that you're grateful no matter what the currency or amount is. So whenever you pass a penny on the ground and you're like, not enough, not good enough, money says, okay, she doesn't care about that. Why would I send her more? If she doesn't even care about the penny on the ground, why would I send her more? And then she gave this example that really drove it home for me. She told a story about her friendship with this friend. Okay. And this friend was someone that would call her at 3 a.m. crying, had a breakup, had a fight with her boyfriend, whatever. And she would always answer the phone. She'd talk her through it, she'd help her. And that friend would say, thank you. I don't know what I would do without you, all of that kind of stuff. And then, if her friend was sick and needed something, she'd go buy things that, maybe would make her feel better, like soup or crackers or whatever, and bring it over and, really help take care of her. And she said one day this friend told her, I wish I had real friends. And she kind of was like, hmm? She said, well, I wish that I had like fun friends, like friends where we do fun things together. And she was just kind of confused. She was like, what do you mean fun friends? Like, or real friends? Like, I'm a real friend. Like, I answer your phone calls at 3 a.m. whenever you're crying. I, bring you things that you need. Like, does that not qualify as a real friend? And she's like, well, I mean, you support me and everything, but you're not like we don't do fun things together. Like, I want friends where I can, like we can go boating together, and we can go on extravagant shopping sprees together, and we can travel to different countries together. We can do all of these fun things together. And she's like, so I'm not a real friend because we don't currently do those things. She was like, even though I help you with all of these things and anything you need, like I help with. And she was like, well, yeah, I'm glad that you do that, but it's just not enough. Like, I need fun friends. And she said her heart was literally broken. And she said, can you imagine saying this to your significant other? Like, yeah, I know that we've created a life where we've got everything that we need, but it's really not enough. And I really just want to have more fun. Like, I want us to be able to, go buy a car together or go do whatever together. And we don't really ever get to do that. And she was like, huh. And she goes, do you think that I really wanted to talk to her, let alone have a continued relationship with her, when I found out that this is what she was thinking? And I was like, no, that would not obviously feel good to think that you're this friend, and then be told that you're not enough. And she says, money responds the same way. So when this friend was saying that to her, want fun things, this is often how we treat money. We see the penny and we think, you're not enough. You're not enough. Like, although that money that's lower in a lower amount, like dollar bills, right, and whatever, contribute to the groceries that we eat, the electricity that we pay for, like everything that we need. If you compare it to this scenario, we've got everything that we need: shelter, food, clean water, all of these things. Hi, Brandy. But we forget to be grateful for that, and we focus on what we don't have, and we focus on the fun that we do want to have with money, but we're not able to have fun with money because we don't have enough. And so when you pass up those pennies and those nickels and all of those little things on the ground that seem to not matter, what you are communicating energetically to the universe is, you're not enough. You're not enough. You're not good enough. You're not fun money. You're not the fun things I want to do with. You're not going to help me do all the fun things. You're not going to get me to, buy a car or go on vacation. You're just not enough. You take care of my needs, but you're not enough. And when money hears that, it says, if she doesn't appreciate this, why in the world would I send her more? And when I heard that, it hit me. I felt very guilty for being the person that would vacuum up pennies in my car and that would walk around a parking lot and see a penny and be like, it takes 100 of those to make $1. I don't need that. Like, that's just not enough. That's not enough money. And so the universe granted me my request over and over again, right? Like, in response to my energy, not what I wanted, because a lot of times my language was, I need this. I need more money. I want to be able to do these things. And again, that I need translates to I don't have, and I don't have is lack. And lack is a very low vibration. And money with this big, big vibration and gratitude with this big, big vibration does not come down to meet you at your tiny little ungrateful, fearful, lack vibration. It won't do it. And then what you're expecting, you're like, I want more money, I need more money, I want more money, I need. And you know what you end up getting? More bills, more people who don't pay what you're worth, more lack. You grant yourself everything that you don't want because the universe doesn't hear what you want versus don't what you don't want. It gives you what you're getting because of your energy and because of your belief system and because of what you're thinking. So if you're constantly thinking this is not enough, I want to be able to do more, I want to be able to afford more, and you're in a place of lack and fear and not trusting, right? You don't feel like you're supported, and you're forgetting to be grateful for those things that you need that support you. For instance, a bill, when you go to pay your bills, instead of being like, oh, I hate paying my bills, which, trust me, I used to have a whole stack on the table where I was like, I don't even want to open that bill because I know that that's a doctor bill and it's going to be this outrageous amount and I'm probably not going to have it in my account and it's going to stress me out. And if I don't look at it, like, like they'll send another one until they finally tell me I've got to go to collections and then I'll figure it out. It's just like, that was literally my mentality. If I don't look at it, it doesn't exist. And I wasn't thinking, and then I'd see pennies and I'd be like, that's not going to do anything. Let me just skip that. Let me just suck that up in my vacuum. Like, who cares about that? And then I learned all of this about money and I was like, oh, I've really been screwing myself over big time. No wonder I keep getting, a big pot of poop pie. Like, no wonder. It makes total sense now. So that's very important for you to think about. But when you get a bill, if your immediate response is like, like, you have to be able to reframe that and say, what is this providing for me? Is this providing light? Like, am I able to turn on my lights because I'm paying this bill? Am I able to, feed my children because of this grocery bill? Am I able to, pay for our water and cable and have a little bit of luxury in our house? Maybe it's not everything that you want, but your bills are covering all of your needs. So rather than dread them and feel lack around them and, God, I wish I could spend that money on, having a new car that's better, you really need to bring yourself back down and say, this is providing something for me that I need, and I am so grateful. So now what I do, every time I see a penny on the ground, even with COVID, I see it and I'm like, ooh, I am a money magnet. Thank you, universe. I am open to receiving more. I'm open to receiving more. I am always open to receiving more. And you would be surprised at what happens when you are in that vibration, when you are grateful. If you have trouble doing this with money and you feel like this is a struggle for you, what I would recommend is doing it with other things where you can get in a very good energetic vibration and practice gratitude. So the way that I did this before it worked for me with money, I did this with parking spaces. I know this is going to sound really crazy, but I would practice every time I got in my car and I was on my way to Kroger. I would practice saying to myself, I am supported and I am so grateful that I always get a front row parking spot. Not because I'm too lazy to walk, not because of any other reason, just literally because I was practicing gratitude and learning how to believe it here, because you have to feel it. You can't trick your mind and say, I believe I'm going to get a front row spot. If you energetically don't believe you're going to get a front row spot, guess what? You're not going to get a front row spot. I promise you. Your energy has to match the thoughts that are happening in your mind. So I would drive to Kroger and I would be like, thank you so much. I'm so grateful for this front row spot that I'm going to get at Kroger. I'm telling you guys, I never miss a front row parking spot at Kroger. It could be like happy hour. It could be like the time where everybody's at Kroger, the time where everybody's at the mall, the time where everybody's going to the restaurants. It could be a time where you never get a front parking spot. And I believe in my soul so deeply that I'm going to get a front row parking spot. It never fails. I always get a front row parking spot somewhere in the first 3 spaces. Always, 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 always. And whenever I had like really learned how to believe that and feel that to my core, I just translated it over to money. And I started taking, every time I got pennies, it was like, I'm so grateful for this. I'm so supported. more, please, more, please, more, please. I'm so grateful for this. And then it would be like, I'd find, or somebody would drop $1 and I'd be like, anybody, like, does this dollar belong to anybody? Nope, didn't belong to anybody. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful. And it just like eventually, got higher and higher. And even during a pandemic where I have not worked as an OT since March, everything's been taken care of. If I wouldn't have had the money knowledge that I had, that I gained from last year, I probably would have been a mess this year. Like, oh my God, I'm not gonna, like I would have been a hot mess. And I'm sure we would have been feeling it in our household because of it. And so I have not had to worry about any of that because my energetic vibration is just constantly focused on gratitude. Now, this is not to say that I'm perfect with it. There are definitely days where you get in a funk, especially when you own a business. Like, you will have a very good day and then you will have a very few bad days. And then you can feel your brain starting to go, oh, uh-oh. And you have to get yourself back into it. So this is work that is, it takes some time and it takes some consistency. So don't feel bad if you start to feel bad, right? Don't be so hard on yourself that you're like, oh God, I'm feeling negative around money, and then you hold on to that for so long that you perpetuate it longer. Like, if you can just lean into that and say, I'm really feeling fearful around money right now, but it's okay because I know I'm taken care of, and I'm open to receiving. I'm open to receiving anything. And if you look down and you see a penny, you pick that up and you are grateful for that penny. Okay, whatever it is. And like I said, after my whole gym experience, like I said, that's $2,000 coming to my bank account, all because I cleared up my energetic leaks and was like literally willing to look at all of my money stuff rather than run away from it and ignore it and pretend that it's all not happening. Okay, let me read these comments really quick. Laura says, thanks for this lesson about pennies. Even though I don't feel safe to pick up money from the ground because of germs, I'll shift my perspective and still be grateful for it because now I'm the one who is gifting it to someone else. Yes, I love that. You could even like maybe keep something in your pocket or your purse, or you know what I mean, like a little like Kleenex or something like that, and just like pick it up and wad it up, and I don't know, drop it in some alcohol if you want to, or just even practice being just grateful for it. Like, oh my gosh, thank you for those signs of support. More please, more please, more please. Parking fairy, I love that. Yes. I do that all the time. Does anybody have questions about this? Let me make sure I'm not missing anything else. But feel free to post anything in the comments if you have questions about anything at all. The real thing is that like you wouldn't want to be around people who constantly tell you you're not enough. If you were constantly surrounded by people who were like, you're not enough, you don't do enough, you don't say enough, you don't support me enough, you don't blah 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 enough, after a while that's going to be very exhausting and you're going to be reevaluating your situation and your friends, right? And so money feels that same way. Money responds to us from a place of gratitude, and like things will come to you in the weirdest of ways. I promise you. When I was learning this last year, I was sharing this with my private one-on-one clients because I literally couldn't contain myself. I was just like, you basically have like come along on this ride with me as a one-on-one client, because every time I get off my coaching calls, I'm like, I have got to like vomit this all out because this is ridiculous. Like, this is crazy. I didn't know any of this. And so I would share it with my private one-on-one clients. And I'm not kidding you. Like, I had one client, her husband would be like, he'd come home, he's a dentist, right? He would come home and he'd be like, I had 3 people give me gift cards today for like $150. Weird. And she would be like, that's amazing. And then she would be like, I'm finding quarters everywhere. And she's like, I'm so grateful for these quarters. And then like a few days later, she would be like, I got a $500 check from an old company that owed me money from X amount of years ago. And I'm like, shut up. And I was like so grateful listening to their stories. And then I had another client and she said, you're never going to believe what happened to me. And I'm like, what happened to you? She said, I was asked to dog sit. And, she was practicing the thing. She was like, oh, shoot, I totally used to throw away pennies. Like, I never used to pay attention to pennies. Now I'm going to be kissing pennies. And I'm like, do it, and tell me all the things that happened. And so she did. She started being grateful for all of the little things. And then she was supposed to dog sit, and not even dog sit. It was more like, this lady was like, can you take my dog out like 2 to 3 times to go potty? She was like, sure. And it was just like for 4 days. And so at the end of the 4 days, the lady calls her and says, "Hey, I left you something on the counter. Make sure that you pick it up, and take it." And she was like, "Okay." Didn't really expect anything because I think she's taken care of this dog like every year for years, right? Like just taking her out to potty. And so she opens up this envelope and it's a $2,000 check for taking the dog out to pee. And she's like, is this a mistake? And the lady, this is what the lady says. No. She goes, at the end of every year, I always have extra money and I never know how to spend it. So I just thought I'd give 2,000 to you. I'm sorry, that just does not happen unless you are very alert with your energetic money vibration. Okay. And then she had started a business. This client of mine had started a business. And I was like, what amount do you want to focus on? Like when you think of the energetic amount that you want to focus on with this business, like what do you want to attract? And she kept saying 50 grand, 50 grand, 50 grand, 50 grand, 50 grand. And as her business went on, because it was kind of like, it's in the farming industry, so you're kind of, you're relying on the sun and the bugs and the rain and all of that. And she was like, I don't think I'm going to do it. Like, I don't think I'm going to make the 50 grand. I don't think I'm going to make the 50 grand. And I was like, you have to stop that. Like, you're focusing on what you don't want, and the universe doesn't hear what you want or what you don't want. It's focusing on your energy. I said, so you really have to, like, trust that the 50 grand is going to come no matter how it comes. It can come in a multitude of ways. You have to focus on all the ways that it can come. And so she started practicing that and practicing that and practicing that. And, with her business, particularly after that season, she didn't have the 50 grand like she wanted. And I was like, it's okay. Focus on that the 50 grand is coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. So this was last year that we were having this conversation. And this year, probably like 2 months ago, maybe at this point, 3 months ago, maybe, she sends me a Marco Polo and she goes, you will never guess what has happened. And I'm like, what has happened? What has happened? And she said, she goes, this whole situation with like her and her husband and, things that he had going on. And they had been waiting on money. They were going to get $30,000. And I was like, you shut up right now. I can't even handle you right now. She was like, I know. Can you believe it? She goes, it's unexpected. She said, because she said, we've been waiting on this for years and it looked like it was never going to happen. And she said, I can literally feel when I'm in the energetic vibration of trust. She said, all of a sudden, like they just called and they were like, yeah, you're getting 30,000. She said, why now and not years ago when we were wanting it so badly and expecting it so badly? And I'm like, because you're in the energetic match for it. Like, you've been practicing gratitude for almost an entire year. And when you're in that big vibration, you will attract that. So if you feel like you're having trouble, again, with the money piece, go back to little things where you're like, I just want to see if I can get a close parking spot, or I just want to see if I can find $1, or whatever it is. I want to see if I can manifest someone paying for my coffee, you know what I mean, or getting a free something, whatever that free something is. Doesn't even matter. I've had people do all kinds of things and it happens every time. Every time your energy matches the actual vibration of gratitude, happens every time. I'm not even kidding. It's so crazy. Okay, let me see. Make sure I don't want to miss anything. Saying, yeah, let's see, parking fairy, I love that. Saying, even though I'm fearful that I'm provided for and I'm grateful for all I have. Yes, that is so key. So key. Kayla says, my daughter loves picking up money. If it's on tails, though, she will flip it to heads and leave it for the next person. That's really cute. That's really cute. I feel like kids, like, they're so pure that a lot of times, like, I feel like with kids attract things good so many times because they're just this pure vessel that hasn't been tainted by the world of, you can't have this, you've got to be this way, you've got to do this, you've got to do that. Like, they just know how to be in their element. I am a Reiki master teacher, and so I do, Reiki sessions and whatnot, and I check people's chakras to make sure to see like where there's blockages in their energy, because that can hold them up from maybe healing or whatnot. And I have done several kids, and I kid you not, every kid I've ever done, every single chakra is open. They are so pure before the world gets a hold of them and tells them all of these horrible things about, you can't have this, you can't do this, you can't, like they're so pure. It's awesome. Melinda says, can you talk about the opposite words of I need? I missed part of it. So yes. So like I said, I need translates to I don't have translates to lack, which the energy of lack is a low vibration. And so the important thing to know is that even with the opposites, like if you're like, I want money, even saying I want means you don't have it yet. So, you might feel very you might feel like you're on the right track and saying, well, I want more money. But again, a lot of times the energy behind that is, I don't have it. So I wouldn't say so much about the words. Like you can say, I'm open to receiving, I'm open for more. Um, because the universe doesn't hear don't want versus want. Or like if you're focused on what you don't want to happen, think of the inner I call this with my clients and becoming her, like when I'm teaching them, I'm like, think of what your strongest energy is. There's a winning energy. So when you're like, I don't want this to happen, I don't want this to happen, even though you're thinking you're focusing on not wanting it to happen, the winning energy is you're focused on it happening. You're focused on how painful it will be if it happens. And you're saying, I don't want it to happen. I don't want it to happen. I don't want it to happen. So that's where your energy is. So the universe gives you that. The universe is always giving us a match for what we believe, always giving us a match. So you have to focus on your energy being in the state of gratitude and thankful for what you have and joy and happiness and all of that. And, you know, from an authentic place. So if you're really not feeling that and you're feeling fearful around it, and you're like, I just, I don't have enough, I don't have enough, and or I'm feeling very scared because the pandemic, and what if my husband loses his job again, and what if like if you're on unemployment, right? Like what if unemployment doesn't come in fast enough, or what if I'm one of those people that don't receive it? That's the winning energy. Your what if and your fear is the winning energy. So you're going to attract exactly what you don't want, because that's where your energy is winning. So you have to focus on what you do want to happen, and you have to feel it. The trick is feeling it before you have it. That's really where the work is feeling it before you have it. So like with the parking spot example, I have to feel that I'm going to get that front row parking spot way before I have it. Like when I'm even leaving my house, it's just a focus of, it's just there. It's just there. It always is. It's always available for me. And that's money is the same way. It's always available for me. It's always going to be okay. Everything's always going to be taken care of. Like I don't have to stress, I don't have to worry. And when I feel myself in that place of fear and stress, I have to rewire my brain. Like it's just something that you have to work on. And this is with anything, like not even in a topic of money, but when people are working with a life coach, is because your brain is your biggest self-sabotager. It's always trying to sabotage you, no matter what it is. It's trying to talk you out of the gym, it's trying to talk you into the donut, it's trying to tell you that you're not good enough, it's trying to tell you that people like this person more than they like me, and this person tried to hurt my feelings. Like your brain is always going to look for the negative first. That's really how it was designed. It's designed to keep us quote unquote safe. And unfortunately, in its process of trying to keep us safe, a lot of times it tries to self sabotage us. So it's going to be normal that you're going to have some negative feelings and thoughts around money or whatever it is in your life. And the work is to constantly have it in your awareness that it doesn't have to be that way. Like just because your brain gives you a crappy thought doesn't mean you have to believe it. I tell my clients all the time, just because you have a thought doesn't mean it's true. That's very important. Just because you have a thought doesn't mean it's true. So when you're in your mind thinking it's true and it's not even a thought that's serving you, why in the world would you choose to believe that thought? Why in the world would you waste energy on a thought that is not serving you? A thought like, I'm never going to get the raise. So and so is going to do it because they're better than me. Like those thoughts are not serving you, and those thoughts and that energy match is not going to give you what you want. Why are you focusing on that? And I feel like that's why you have a life coach, is because they come in and they check those thoughts and they're like, that's not going to serve you very well down the road. So if you don't want that, you better quit thinking that. You got to flip that around. Let's see. And Rebecca says the universe is giving us a match for question mark. Did that help? I know that you sent that at 7:23. That was 2 minutes ago. I don't know if that helped or if you need more clarity, but let me know if if you do. So the universe is always matching our energetic vibration and what we believe. Whatever you're focused on is what you will get. Like, um, one of the funny little quotes is like, energy is just like, what do they say? Energy is emotion, or no, wait, sorry, you guys, hold on. What's the quote for that? It's like, um, emotion is energy in motion. That's what it is. Sorry, I had to think for a second. Emotion is energy in motion. So, whatever your emotion is, your emotional state, think about how that's an energy, because we're energetic beings. Everything in the world is energy. So, whatever emotion you're holding in your body, that is now energy in motion. And whatever that energy is focused on, you will see reflected back to you. So everything that you've created in your life thus far, whether you love your money situation or you don't, you've created it. You've created it with your thoughts. The most important thing is taking radical responsibility for that. And that was really hard for me to do. Like, because there's been times where I've had negative bank accounts and I'm like, how did I get here? And I would be in a victim state of mind, like, it's because I don't make enough. It's because they don't pay enough. It's because we have too many bills. It's because, I can never get ahead. It's because, and it would just always be this external blame game of everything else is the problem. I'm not the problem. And only until I realized my own energy of constantly being in lack, fear, stress, all of that, did I realize I'm creating this because that's my winning energy. I'm expecting this. We don't often think about this because it feels so bad. We think, if I think about how miserable I am and I want something else, we think that we're going to create that other thing, but your winning energy is what you get the match for. So we create more of what we don't want if we're going unchecked in our mind and in our energy. It's very important. I mean, if you really take a step back and ask yourself with high awareness, um, how have I created the things that I'm experiencing in my life right now? That's a really big thing. And that's what we're going to talk about. I know all of you are here for the money webinar, but the next few days I'm going to be posting the next webinar, which is going to be Thursday, and it's called Heal. And that's going to really talk about how we get stuck in cycles. Because like I have a million examples of that, of how I've attracted certain people in my life based on things I haven't healed energetically in my subconscious. So money is really that same way because we're energetic beings. They say we're spiritual beings having a human experience. And so if our energy goes unchecked and our mindset goes unchecked and we're not focusing on the pieces of us that if we're not focusing on the pieces of us that have a lot of that self-sabotaging behavior, we'll attract exactly what we don't want in our life. It's kind of like how if you grow up with an abusive father and he abuses you throughout life, and you grow up and you're like, I'm strong, I'm strong, I'm strong, I'm strong. And then you get in a marriage, or you have a boyfriend or whatever, and that boyfriend has similar traits to your dad, and you're like, how did I get here? This is exactly what I tried to avoid. I didn't want to be, in a relationship like it was growing up for my mom with my dad. A lot of times the reason people get in that same relationship is because they haven't healed the trauma in the past. They haven't healed that. So energetically to their body, even though logically they know it's wrong, logically they know they don't need to be with someone like their dad, logically they know that they were abused, logically they know all of this. Energetically, they haven't healed it. And energetically, they have now attracted it into a mate, right? And it feels familiar to their body. And what feels familiar to their body also feels like safety, even though they know it's wrong. And that is how people attract exactly what they don't want. Anything that you're experiencing in your life right now, you've attracted through your thoughts, through your emotions, and through your action. Because any emotion that you have becomes energy in motion. So if you don't like your situation right now, no matter what category that is, in a relationship, in what you're experiencing with money and what you're experiencing with a job, you've created it. And the only way to change it is to first take radical responsibility for it and be like, I created this somehow, some way, and I'm willing to look at it. And you can do that on your own, but that's a lot of times why people will hire a coach. Like, how did I create this? I don't want this. These are not the results that I want to be getting. So I need someone that can see inside my brain that's not as close to the problem as me. That was the thing with money. I was so close to the problem, and I was just sabotaging, sabotaging, sabotaging. I don't want to, oh, the bills keep coming in. I don't want to experience this. I don't want it to be this way. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. And I just kept attracting it. And then finally I was like, I don't care what the amount is. I need someone to teach me like what the crap is happening. And so only when I had awareness of it from a different viewpoint and I was far away from my problem could I experience the help and seeing how I was contributing to my own results. So hopefully that helps you. Let's see. Yes, taking radical responsibility for my situation. I have to work on me, not blame on all the other things. Yeah, that's like the hardest thing. So if that's something that you're interested in, that's going to be a free webinar on Thursday, same time, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. It's called Heal. And just look for my post on my profile in the next coming days because I'll be posting the link and you register for it the same way. And we're going to be talking about how people get in cycles and what this looks like how to be in your powerful adult energy versus being in the energy of like a child or adolescent because of unhealed things. And so you'll be able to really recognize this and learn how to work through it. And what I would ask is that if you know anybody who needs this, and someone that could really use, like they're maybe really struggling in their life and they keep saying, how do I keep attracting these horrible men? How do I keep attracting, this pain in my life? How come I can't get over this relationship with my mom? How come my relationship with my sister or brother-in-law sucks? Whatever, if you know people like that, when you see the link posted on my profile, feel free to share it with them. It's free. And they can see if maybe it's something that's going to help them work through their stuff. So does anybody have any questions? We're right around an hour. So I just want to make sure that if you have any questions, I answer them. You just let me know. And thank you all so much for being on. I have had fun with this. This was my very first webinar. I did not know how this was going to go at all. I was sweating bullets. So I am so appreciative of it. A few things I want to tell you before we hop off. Let's see. I'll share it. Did you record this? I did record it. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to record it because this is a new platform that I've never hosted a webinar, so I was able to record it. I will figure out how to send the replay, and I'll probably send the replay also to my email list. So make sure you're on my email list as well if you want the replay, which I think everybody in here pretty much is on the email list unless you signed up directly from like my profile. But what did I want to say? Oh, with the money stuff. So money is some different layers. If you care to explore your money beliefs further and you want to learn more, I have a digital course on it. I think it's like 8 or 9 modules. And I use my whiteboard, so I draw out literally everything to give you visual examples of how this is perpetuating itself and all kinds of different, like even hands-on activities that you can do to kind of see where your mind's at. If that's something that you're interested in, if you buy the digital course, you have access to it for life. So if you watch it and then you're like, 6 months down the road, you're still struggling and you want to watch it again, you can. If you want to watch it 3 years down the road, you can. If you buy the digital money course, you have access to it for life. So just reach out to me about that and I can send you a link if you're interested. And then another thing is if you care to do more of this work, like what we're going to be doing in Heal, the money work, everything that I offer, I want to tell you guys about Becoming Her. That is a coaching container for self-mastery that I have. I made it in January. And that is a coaching container where you get access to me for life. You get 2 30-minute coaching calls a month to work on anything that you want to work on. And I go live every single week to talk to you about things like this. We pick a topic and I coach on it, and they can ask as many questions as they want. And then all of those videos get downloaded into a special organized portfolio like mindset, energy, emotions, whatever the category is, money. And then they can go in and click and watch any of those videos anytime they want. And again, it's Becoming Her. You can do the one-time payment, a 4-time payment, or a 9-time payment, and you get access to me for life. So if that's something you're interested in and need more information on, just message me and I can tell you anything you want to know about it. Let's see. Don't want to miss any of these comments. Rebecca says, amazing. You are natural. Great info. Thank you so much. Thank you, Rebecca. Laura says, I set up a budgeting app just now. I'm finding fear coming up about sharing my information because I have a fear that people will take my money away. Do you have any tips to overcome that fear as I begin to expand my money awareness? Yes. Okay, let me read that just one more time. I'm finding fear coming up about sharing my information Do you mean like business information or like your like what you're going to charge? Is that what you mean? Or do you mean even like putting information in for your budgeting app? Like give me some clarity on that because I have a fear that people will take my money away. Do you have any tips to overcome that fear as I begin to expand my money awareness? Yeah, just give me some clarity on that and I will do my best to help you. Randy says, thank you so much. You did an amazing job. Thank you. I have to go. Bye. Catherine, I've learned so much today, validating this. Yay. And then Laura says, yes, sharing my banking info to the apps. Okay, so yes, I could understand like the fear of that, obviously. Thank you so much for being on. If you are not interested in staying and hearing these answers, you're more than welcome to go. But thank you so much for being on. If you have any questions, please let me know. And again, look out for Heal on Thursday if you're interested in that. But thank you guys. So Laura, I kind of had some of the same fears, putting my stuff in the bank apps. But again, I kind of focus on like what is the purpose of this app is to support me. I do read reviews for any kind of apps just to kind of make sure that they're going to be something that people haven't complained about or had issues with before. And when I'm sharing my bank account information with them and I know that it's going to share with me like maybe information on my spending, like I choose to look at it as being supported, and that if anything bad were to go wrong, that I'm supported in that it would be taken care of, whether with my bank, like filing a dispute with them and saying, listen, I didn't know this app was going to do X, Y, and Z, and I try not to even focus on the what ifs because, again, if that's my strong energy match, I don't want that matching with what could be or what could happen because of where my energy's at. So just be safe in that you look at the reviews, make sure nobody's saying like, hey, they ran off with my information and this has been a horrible experience. And as long as it seems like they're, a good trustworthy thing, just look at it as this app helps support me, helps show me my money, helps show me my money leaks, helps me figure out, how I want to spend my money powerfully. And that's the way that I would kind of look at it. So at first when I downloaded Clarity Money, I had a lot of negative thoughts about it because I was just like, oh my God, look at how I'm spending all of this money. And then, I finally was like, you know what, the clarity, well, that's funny, it's called Clarity Money. The clarity and knowing how that I'm spending it is helping me more than it can ever hurt me. And again, if anything bad were to happen, there's always filing disputes with my bank. So I'm supported in that way. Sonia says, thank you so much. This was amazing information. I can't wait to share it with my husband. Yay. Make sure you're on my email list. I will try emailing this out. Hopefully there's no issues with how large the file is, but you guys, however it takes to try and get this to you, even if I have to put everybody in a Facebook group with the replay, I will figure it out and make sure that you all have access to this information. Laura says, thanks. That helps a lot. I admire your honesty and support. Thank you so much. Okay, well, if nobody else has questions, I'm going to hop off here. And again, thank you all so much for being on. For anybody that's interested in Heal, I will see you on Thursday, same time, 6:30. And again, I'll be posting the link and post on that for the next few days on my page. So just click the link, register the same way you did for this, and join me Thursday for Heal. So thank you all. Bye.